This is Pastor Stuart, and in this video I am reviewing a lovely Bible from Thomas Nelson. It's a New King James Version. It's one of their comfort print editions. It's a Deluxe reference Bible, center column giant print, Leathersoft in black, and it has the words of Christ in red. I have put the ISBN of this particular Bible in the video description for you, and in this review I'll be looking at the readability of this Bible, its features, its build quality and its portability, and then giving my overall impression of this Bible. So let's start with its readability, and I must say this is a very readable Bible. It has a huge font. It really is giant print. It's 13.5. That's the point type. That's the size of the font. 13.5, and it's incredibly readable. It is line matched, and what that means is that in each line, the corresponding line on the other side of the page is in exactly the same place. And what that does is it eliminates the issue of ghosting. Ghosting being where text from the other side of the page shows through, which can be quite distracting. That's not an issue in this Bible because it is line matched, and the comfort print font is very attractive. It's very easy on the eye. So this is a very readable Bible. As you can see, it is in paragraph format, so each verse does not start on a new line. Now that does make the verses more difficult to find, but it does help you to see the verse in its context, which is a good thing. So as far as the readability of this Bible goes, I would give it 5 out of 5. Now let's look at the features of this Bible. As you can see in the center column, there are lots of cross-references. In fact, there are over 70,000 cross-references in this Bible. One unfortunate thing is that these numbers here, the chapter and verse number, they are not that easy to distinguish from the cross-references themselves. They are bolder, but when you are actually using the Bible, or at least when I'm using this Bible, it can take me a while to find what I'm looking for. So for example, if I'm looking at verse number 4, it can take me a while before I'm able to find the cross-reference A, for example. I would have to look for verse 4 and try and find it and spot it just there. My point is that in other Thomas Nelson Bibles, it's a lot clearer due to the spacing, etc. This one, they haven't done a great job. What they could have done, instead of making this bold, or perhaps in addition to making 8 and 4 bold, they could have made it red instead, and it would have been easier to find. So that's a relatively minor thought, but just so you are aware of that, especially as if you're going for a giant print Bible like this, it may be because you have difficulty reading certain text, and so that's just to make you aware of that. But nonetheless, I am very pleased to report that this Bible contains the full set of New King James Version translators' notes. So, for example, in Genesis chapter 1 and verse 5, I'm having a little difficulty there, turning this page while holding the camera. Do bear with me. In Genesis 1 and verse 5, it says, God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. So the evening and the morning were the first day. And you will note the letter or the number 1. And then in the center column for verse 5, it has the following note. It literally is, and evening was and morning was a day 1, which, is a useful note to have. It shows you how it literally reads in the Hebrew. Now, not all reference Bibles have that note. For example, here is another New King James Version reference Bible by Thomas Nelson. And when we look at Genesis chapter 1 and verse 5, this is the personal size giant print, comfort print as well. But when we look at the notes for verse 5, you can see that it doesn't have that note at all. And what this Bible has is not the full set of translator's notes. The good news is that this Bible that I'm reviewing, this center column giant print Bible, this does have the full set, and that is an excellent feature. It's also worth pointing out that with the center column references, the references at the top, those pertain to the text on the left-hand side, and the references at the bottom, those pertain to the text on the right-hand side. Now, as you can see, each book in this Bible has a brief introduction. It's not particularly in-depth, but to be quite frank, it doesn't have to be there at all, so I appreciate them including these brief book introductions. It's obviously not the type of depth you would get with a study Bible, but it's nice that they have these here. Now, this Bible does also have a concordance. Of course, it would not be anything exhaustive. The text is smaller in the concordance. For God, for example, they have 38 entries. But to be quite honest with you, in this day and age, if I'm looking for a verse in the Bible, I can just use my Bible software, or you could even type it in Google. So it's nice to have a concordance, but to be honest, it's not something that I use frequently, if at all. It's very rare that I would use a physical concordance, but it's nice that this is here. Also at the back of this Bible are some full colour maps. They have 7 maps in total in this Bible, and it's nice to have these. So let's, before I move on to the build quality of this Bible, I would rate the features of this Bible 5 out of 5, and the reason I give it 5 out of 5 is because it has the full set of translator's notes. So let's look at the build quality of this Bible, and obviously this is not a premium Bible, and it doesn't advertise itself to be such. It does feel sturdy. It is imitation leather, and it does feel nice enough. It does come with 2 ribbons. This Deluxe edition does. You can see a black one here, which is nice, a nice wide ribbon, and then you have a red ribbon as well, which I will now show you. There is the red ribbon. Nice ribbons, I do like those a lot. So, as I've said, it is imitation leather. It is sewn binding. It has sewn binding, which is good. It's not glued. And the paper itself, it is, it's, I guess, thin paper, but it's not problematic at all. As mentioned before, the text is line matched, and so there isn't an issue with ghosting at all. The paper is very good, and I didn't have any issues with any paper sticking together or anything like that. It does have gold gilded edges, which is a nice touch as well. So as far as the build quality goes, I would rate that 4 out of 5. The only reason I'm not giving it 5 is because it's not real leather. An additional note about the build quality of this Bible. It does lay flat, which is very good. It doesn't lay flat from Genesis 1, but certainly by the time you get to the end of Genesis, as you can see, I'm in Exodus here and it's laying flat, and also here at the end of Genesis it's laying flat. But at Genesis 1 it does not lay completely flat. As you can see, this is above the table, but this is a lay flat Bible. So now the portability of this Bible. This Bible is not a portable Bible, and that's due to its size and possibly its weight. It is 9.5 inches high, about 9.5 inches. It's about 6 3/4 inches wide, and the spine is about 1.5 inches. It's lighter than a study Bible, but it's heavier than, for example, this personal-sized Bible. This is a much nicer weight for a Bible you would carry around with you. And so for home use, I guess this is okay, but it's not a portable Bible. One of the things to consider about a Bible you will use for your daily reading is the weight, because I'm sure you would much rather take something that's very lightweight from your bookshelf to read each day, which you can just easily lounge with on the sofa, as opposed to something that is a bit heavier. But it's not an overly heavy Bible at all. It is lighter than a study Bible, but that's just for your information. It's not something that I would want to hold in my hand for a long period of time. So as far as the portability of this Bible, I would rate it 3 out of 5. So what's my overall impression of this Bible? I think this is a lovely Bible. It is very easy to read. It has excellent cross-references and has the full New King James Version translator's notes. The main improvement needed, as far as I'm concerned, is to make the center column bold-face type a different color to the cross-references, so that the verse to which the entries pertain is more easily identifiable. But apart from that, I think this is an excellent Bible, and my overall score for this Bible is 4 out of 5. Thank you very much for watching this review. And again, the ISBN for this Bible is in the video description.